Things took longer than I hoped. Man, I'm making a habit of getting late, huh? Well, maybe hopefully it's a good thing because last time I was late, we had a great race session, so maybe it's a omen. Omen for good signs. But I am live, which also means that I'm not actually that ready because I just got here. Whoa. Let me see. Hold on, I gotta do some light adjustment. We gotta do zoom. Gotta do a little bit of zoom here. Can you hear me? Oh, my battery's not doing well on my camera either. Eek. Hopefully it'll last. And then let's see. This is okay. Hi, Mikori. Yo, isn't it early? I'm sorry. Did I make you wait? I know you said it's 5 a.m. Jeez. Well, thank you. I see that your icon has changed. Unexpected stream. Yeah, it is very unexpected. It's I'm floundering around trying to get this through. All right, let's see. Background's a little too dark. Whew, it's 11 p.m. right now for me. Oh, it was someone else. It was Anshi who said. Anshi and Noxie that said it was 5 a.m. Never mind. Well, thanks. Thanks for being here. East Coast, I see. If it's that. Or somewhere in the East Coast. Hold on. Yeah, I just wanted to get some work done, and I thought might as well have stream on. I am so tired. I've been told. I have been grumpy. Actually, should I make this my main light? Actually, that's not bad. Here, let me lower that light. Let's see. So this is my main light now. Seems like it's brighter. Okay, that's not too bad. Seems like it's showing through. Background being that kind of white blue is probably not appropriate for the late night stream. How about gamer blue, right? There it is. That's appropriate. Now it's looking like game development late night channel. Wow, Mikori's on both YouTube and Twitch. Here, I gotta get this on here. My typical setup, I haven't had the chance to do all that. I'm just getting on here right now. Just a sec. I'm gonna check your chat in a bit as soon as I get it ready. Maybe I should do it off screen. Who knows what kind of secret information is under here. Oop. Don't look at all the poor statistics. Or analytics, I mean. Mikuri says, currently just playing some Balatro. Oh, Balatro has been so fun. I've been playing on my Switch a lot. Most of my progress is done in Switch. Can't wait for the 26th. It comes to mobile. Fun. I know. I don't know if I'm going to download it on mobile, though. That's just too much temptation, don't you think? Here. Game Jam, game development, game dev, indie, game dev, indie dev vlog, game dev vlog, indie game dev vlog, game development vlog. I like how beginning of the stream is always me typing all the tags. What else should I put? Tutorial, game dev tutorial, how to make a game, how to use Godot, Godot game dev, Godot indie game dev, Godot, pixel art, pixel game, 2D game, horror game, etc., etc. I think that's good enough, actually. So that's that. And then I have to go turn on the chats here. But yeah, Balatro is really fun. I'm having a lot of fun with that. Oh my gosh, Mikori. I'm trying to orient myself here already. It's just you and me here. You're gonna have a private exercise session? For the camera exclusively, I guess. Ooh, I need to blot my oil. I mean, I'm getting shiny. I look shiny here. You can tell that I'm really ready for this stream. Let's see. General, why, Ezra? Why do you hate people on +1 Greenwich? I'm complaining yet still coding. Well, you are awake, surprisingly. I do other time zone streams. I'll probably do more EU-friendly time zone stream, which is my morning. More of that this week. Or not the weekend, the weekdays. Haha, need to get the reps in. What have you done for the game since the last stream? Not much, honestly. I mean, I got the state management thing working, so I can do on and off the screen pretty easily. So at least that solves all the headache. I really want to finish up getting the text version, I suppose, in some ways, like a minimal graphic version of the game working. So a little sniffly right now. Maybe it's the stress of rushing. This one is gone. I don't have particular dates right now. Coming soon. There you go. Because I don't want to lose any of these thing. Mikori, I'll spin the wheel in a bit. Very soon. Stream viewers. Surprise late night coding session on now. Same link. I think YouTube is the only thing with a different link. And then Twitch is Twitch. What's my Twitch link? I can never remember my Twitch link, even though it should be easy. Yeah, Twitch TV developer Ezra. There you go. Bam. Not so surprising. I feel like I don't know what to do with the YouTube streaming, though. Not as much people come on the YouTube streams. But there is a video upcoming. The sponsor video. I'm not shilling, I promise. It's but I do need to get that reviewed. I'm hoping that that gets reviewed with no notes, so I can what do you call? Upload without having to wait on their feedback. Editing cycle for videos are too much, honestly. But here it is, Wheel of Exercise. What do you think we're going to get today, Mikori? Just for you. Do a twirl and a re-roll. All right. Oh my god. And a re-roll. Clearly, I don't know how to do it. Oh my gosh. My knees are in pain. Ugh. All right, here comes the 20 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Woo! All right, I gotta turn on the AC. Twirl and a re-roll. Whoever added that. Honestly, it's too much. I feel like the twirl itself is kind of an exercise. All right, well, here we are. Oops. Oh, man. Hey, Noxie. Welcome. We're going to code. And you're coding anyway, so we're just going to hang. Let's see. I think Void, or Blood Mage, has shown us that there's a music that we can use that might not be copyright. I always forget to mention this. You can pick anyone you'd like and use for free in your streams. Let's see. Free BGM. I don't know how to use it. It's in Japanese. Noxy says, guess I'm done for today. Why? Why are you done? Because I'm streaming? Whatever. I'm just going to use my art list thing since I have the subscription. Can't believe I'm paying for this stuff. I mean, it's useful because, you know, I use music, sound, footage, all those things from this website. I should honestly, I should be sponsored by this place so I can be like, use Artlist if you're doing streaming. But let's find something. Let's see. We're gonna search for type of music. How about cyberpunk? Might be appropriate. We haven't had exciting music in a while. I'll put this right here. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's too loud. I forgot. I gotta lower the volume here. About this much, maybe? Oh, that's why. That is not my vibe. I'm sorry. How about... Actually, that wasn't... Not this part isn't bad. More like synth wave. I think less cyberpunk, more synth wave. Noxy says, no, haha, it's late here. I just added arms to my little Sonic Crash Rayman character. I'm happy with the result for now. Yeah, I mean, it looked good. It looks cute. I like it. Oh my gosh, that's too intense, actually. All right, before you go, though, you got to tell me if this volume is good so I can adjust the volume before I leave or before I commit to coding. Okay, that's good. Yeah. How's the volume? Compared to my voice, I guess. That's the main thing. Also, am I in the middle of the screen? I think I am. All right, there we are. I think this is good. Oh, it's getting loud, actually. The music is very, very low. Okay. Even now? All right, well. I mean, it needs to be just like right in the background. How about now? Can you hear it better? Thanks for the follow, Tame Tenny Kyoko. Or is it Tametani Kyoko? I wouldn't know. But thanks for the follow. 20% up. That was like about 15%, I think. Hey, Tametani Kyoko. Tametani Kyoko. Can't say that fast 3 times, that's for sure. But yeah. Whew. All right, now I'm ready. I'm rushing into this because... Oh, what do you call? I was kind of late. Hey, 200 followers now. I'm growing in Twitch. I feel like every time I'm growing in Twitch, I'm neglecting my YouTube a little bit. Especially because my YouTube presence is less about live streaming, but more about the videos. Honestly, I should make a separate live channel. Kyoko says, pronunciation seemed off at first, but you pulled it off correctly at the second. Oh, that's great. All right, so this is Tametani Kyoko. All right, so I was in the process of... So something that did happen, so Noxy was asking. I was able to get the new game started, and then once I click embark, it shows up the status, and then you can see the state has moved on. Oh my gosh, it's still a little too loud for me, honestly. I just need it very subtle in the background. Yeah, I think that's good enough for me. No one knows the extra pronunciation, but it depends on the accent, I see. Tametani kyoko kyo kyo ku tame. I don't know. Maybe it is. Yes, too loud now. Sorry. Bad indications on my side. That's okay. It was a loud part, I think. So let me just adjust it down a little bit. I think this might be a sweet spot. Because, you're not supposed to hear a lot of it anyways. I just need there to be a vibe. I think that's enough. Maybe it's just the type of the music that's the issue. How about I change, instead of synthwave, I go to cafe. Coffee music. Tametani Kyoko says, this is in Japanese, so there are some hidden letters in the pronounce. I see. I mean, I am familiar with some of the Japanese pronunciation. Perhaps I pronounce it like a Korean would. Hey, Jesus. Welcome, welcome. Kyoko. I see. Not Kyoko, Kyoko. Like Kyowa. Kyoko. Kyoko. More like that, maybe. You know what? After listening to synthwave, I can't do this jazz stuff. I think I might have to actually stay with the synthwave. How's the game coming? It's coming along. I'm just starting. I have this display thing going on. So far, I have 3 states set up, which is the new game, randomized, so you can choose your 3 little things, and then you can embark. It creates this thing. I don't have number of crew check right now, so you can do 2 or 3 if you want to. So there's some stuff, some edge cases that I'm not worried about because I want to get it to a playable place first. So because I kind of want to play the game. I gotta be careful with the in-ear volume because it makes me speak louder. Let me know if the music seems a little bit too much, but I think I adjusted it so that it's in a pretty good volume, I want to say. Tametani Kyoko says, you need to speak faster in order to get the right pronunciation. I see. Tametani Kyoko. Yeah. But yeah, that's how the game is coming along. Death for Jesus. Jesus. Okay, so distance to destination, I'm doing it out of 100, which I'm going to make it so that it changes. I'm probably going to do it under the game variable state. So let's jump right into it. No delay here. So I'm going to come in here. Probably going to have gameplay data instead of player data. Player data could be a separate thing. I'm going to say gameplay variables. Tamati Kyoko says, anyways, the name Jazz should be out of the topic for now, but I was doing my own stuff recently. Oh, the name Jazz. Yes, of course. We had our fun with the name a little bit in the beginning. Doing your stuff, doing your game making? Is that what you're doing? Or are you talking about doing some dev stuff in general? See. Tametani says, generally hop on to keep my ears running, acting your stream as my own podcast audio. That's good. That's good. As long as you can get, to a little peaceful, vibey, chill, cozy space where you can do your own thing. That's good. Noxy said, I'm really looking forward to see the gameplay of your game and to play it. Yeah. And I think I'm going to immediately release it to our Discord for people to play test, even before all the other mechanics at the first level, just to see how people are enjoying it. See if anybody gets addicted. That's kind of like the funness of it. So we're going to do this. So here it is. Var distance to destination, which will be integer. Right now it's going to be 0 at first, and then I'm going to have var day count. That's at 0, 2. So those are two things that I'm tracking. I actually think when the distance to destination gets reached, you get to choose a new destination to go towards, or something. But I think I'm gonna keep it simple for now. Okay. So we're over here. We're at the select crew section, and then I have to make it so that I transition out of that. We're gonna get to the start day. So here, immediately, I'm gonna do if. I think what we're saying here is crew is selected and current page is 0, right? So I think from this state particularly, I think there was a signal where basically button was pressed. On button pressed, which is on select crew page, crew selection complete. This is the end of the crew selection. After creating the panel, I actually want to inform the state. So I'm going to do that. I'll tell the state manager to move next. Or just do next, I think. And there's going to be a state manager function called next. Next, which is used for non-auto transition state transition trigger. And that's going to be basically, I suppose I could say, right here we got check transition. Instead of saying check transition, next state. Go to, maybe I can say go to next state. And that's going to be current state. And I think it's going to be state game state manager dot states, and then the next state for this one is start day, I believe. Yeah. Whoa, that's an intense sound going on right now in the background. Let's see. Oh, a lot of check going on here. Noxy was saying, I was wondering, do you ever start by making the gameplay first, or do you always make the menu first like you seem to be doing now? I like to go from beginning to end, like a regular play experience. Oh my gosh, this music is not it. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm not vibing with this. Anyways, I was answering Noxy. I like to, so I don't, reason it goes from menu first is because this is the gameplay for me, right? Where the gameplay goes from beginning to end. And that's what I'm trying to check for. Because that is it's called a end-to-end user experience. Because that is an experience that the user will go through. So I'm actually going through one at a time. Because if I do particularly like different spots here and there, they may not come together as I want them to. And I have a very specific user experience and flow in mind. That's why I'm doing it in that order. So I can, when I test it frequently, I'm testing that experience of the end-to-end user experience. At least that's kind of how I feel about it. But technically, if I'm not programming, right, I was doing the paper testing first. That is just straight up testing the game play first, right? So that's my answer. Tamatin Kyoto says, the stuff I recently did was self-creation on Flashpoint. Flashpoint. Since I'm going to archive the old demo versions of the game itself. Oh, I'm not familiar with Flashpoint. Like, when you say Flashpoint with capitalization, all I can think about is like the DC Comics Flashpoint is when Flash went to past and messed with some things, and then future became all weird. That's a Flashpoint I think of. I recently hit into some issues with the curation recently, so I was going to get some help with other curators and testers I see. With the general help in progress, I just focused on other stuff in my disposal, like developing the new version as a mega major update. I see. Interesting, very interesting stuff. So you're doing a lot of complicated, interesting things. You're working on your own things. That's good. Noxie says, okay, yeah, I get it. I always start by making the character or player, and I want things to move when I press buttons. Guess I'm still a kid. Well, I mean, like, that's valid, because that's getting yourself to be able to focus on the gameplay, right? Because you're doing the fun things first. And that's what I like to focus on, too. I think I've done it enough where it's like, I have motivation, I feel good doing it this way. So because like I've had to come back to this point a lot enough where I feel like I'd rather get this thing out of the way if I can. Vertical slice, they call it, right? The vertical slice is what I try to focus on. Tamatani says Flashpoint is a Flash game thing, not a DC thing. I see. Or it can be both. Wherever you had the general information, Neomite. I see. Never heard of it. So that's interesting. Very exciting. Well, that's amazing. I hope you can keep me as a general podcast. I try not to be too disruptive. I try to find a good vibe. That for some reason it feels really dark. The sound for me. Maybe I need to put it up a little bit. I want my sense to be covered. It's like the treble is not cutting through for me. There it is. I think that might be okay. Okay, so we got the states here. State manager. And I think that needs to be also passed probably as part of it. And I think go to next state is probably another thing I'm going to create as part of the state node's default function. I don't think I can make virtual functions yet in this version, so I can't just call it virtual function, right? It's not really C. Can I say virtual? No, virtual is not a keyword. It says check transition. Go to next state. I mean, this is a force. Okay. Current state is this one. I guess I could have done that too, honestly. So I could say here, when somebody says next, I just simply go func get current state action, which gives you state node. And then it'll return one of these things. State actions has one of these things, right? Where it's like, hey, check if the state actions has the current state as a thing. If so, then this is a current state action. And then return this. Otherwise, I'm gonna give you a empty state, which is just state node.new. There you go. And so what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna call get current state action, and then I'm gonna call Go to next state. Perfect. I think I can do that. It says go to next state call. Oh, you're right. I gotta pass self. And on here, I set the current state to start day. And that is a new node. Node 2D. Then I'm gonna call this a start day. I'm not sure if it's smart to do every single state in here, but maybe it is, maybe it's not. State manager, state node, start day state, create, and then I'm going to extend state node here. So I'm going to do copy and paste. I think the start day comes with the upkeep, right? I think. What do you got here? Oh, Don the developer. Hi! A new friend that I made yesterday. Hello, Don. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for swinging by. Glad to see you here. Noxy says, do you have an idea after how much years you were able to enter the super dev state? Like, you know, you are not only using tools. I mean, you made a plugin, for example, and I feel like you have a more globally de-zoomed view of projects and software in a way. Not sure if I'm making sense right now. It's late. No, it makes perfect sense. I know what you're saying. I mean, there's definitely not a very specific date or number of years you need to do before it gets this way. I don't know if I would call myself a super dev. I think I would call myself a dev who has enterprise experience, like have worked in a large enough project for several years to have this like less function to function type of view of programming, but more of like product level of view, right? So initially when you first learn programming, you're focused on algorithms or how to solve very specific, like you're basically solving to make a function, for example. If what I mean by that is if I were to write a function or method called sort, how do I do that, right? I mean, you learn about architectural design and programming design, but you don't really see what that means, because the fun part is this. I think it's less about number of years of experiences. I think it's more about having had that experience. Like you're forced to have that experience either by having to do like work in a company, in a software company, or you've worked on projects, big projects several times. So it could be, for example, for us in game dev, if you made a complete game several times, you start to see more big picture. Now, of course, if you're doing it by yourself, there is a problem of, and this is why it's good to see other people work sometimes, and a lot of times actually, especially if you don't have a mentor. The thing is, if you're programming by yourself all the time and that's all the products you make, then you get stuck in the habit of following a certain pattern. Having other people review your code, which is forced to do in like corporate culture, and having other people critic or comment or comment on your architectural design opens you up for learning different patterns and possibilities and considerations. So I don't know. The long story short, it's more about having conversation with people about your project and not being defensive. And having done that long enough time is when you start go, yeah, I just see big picture, so to speak, I think. Kado says, hey man, how's the game going? It's going. I'm trying to get it to a playable space. I just finished making the game state manager and, you know, all that. Noxy's Dream says, yeah, I see what you mean. I definitely learned a lot by peer programming with some people I worked with. Yeah, exactly. I mean, peer programming is pretty huge because you're like, hey, why did you learn that? Why did you do it that way? And it's not about even like just doing it whatever they tell you to do. If you start to question and be like, oh, I wonder what that's about, and then try to like dig into the deeper meaning of things, then it becomes a little bit more personal to you. Noxie also said, I mean, there are people making games in Godot and people making Godot itself. It always impresses me how hard and complicated the real makers' minds must be. I get that. Godot says, Godot says, I absolutely hate peer programming. It is, I mean, it's an awful experience. And also, especially because if you have coworkers or peers that really like to nitpick, then it becomes really a hassle. But in the beginning, some of those comments, if they were new to you, they reveal new information. So in that sense, it's kind of good. There are some sort of nuggets here and there. Less about peer programming. I like reviews more. Because reviews are more like they give you a review. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if they say, hey, this works, but then I would have done it this way, or would you like to do it this way? You could always be like, nah, no thanks, I'm good. Same thing with architectural design, right? So in companies, a common thing that you do is, like, for example, I say, hey, I'm going to make a game state manager for our game project. And say, here's my architectural plan for what we want to do. And here's options that I consider in implementing it, because there's no right answer, right? So you consider multiple options and say, hey, here are the options that we have to make this game state manager. And I consider this, and this is my selection. This is what I recommend. What do you guys think? And people go, oh, yeah, that's a great idea, but blah, blah, blah. Oh, how about, have you looked into this, like, other programming method, blah, blah, blah. And then you have this discussion where it kind of develops your critical thinking of architectural design. But that does get annoying, because sometimes when you're at the beginning stage, I hate this part in corporate culture, because if you're in a very, very early stage where there's just two separate beginning stages of software, I think. Product view of the software is that you need to get it working so that you can test the concept, right? So for example, game that we're making right now, I need the gameplay to work so that I can see if the game is even worth making, right? That's the most important part. Then architectural design and programming excellence doesn't really matter. That's not what I care about. I just want to get it out the door ASAP. And then there's the second part of the design where you're like, okay, now that we got the idea proven, we know the idea will work, we know this is what we want to do, then we want to make it so that it's sustainable. Like, right, I don't want to be on my computer every day fixing bugs all the time, right? I want it to be resilient to bugs every time I make changes. I want to know exactly where to go to make changes. I want to not think the same thoughts every time whenever I get back on the project. So that's where the whole documentation, programming patterns, all those things, organization comes into the play. So corporate right now, I think, focuses too hard on that engineering excellence, sustainability, all those things, where a lot of the new ideas that needs to spawn, like the small early stages of the development, get stalled because people are too bogged down by the making a good resilient software, not resilient. So you can look at your project as a software, you can look at your project as product, and you have to be able to switch between. And typically in a job, that's why you have the product manager versus the software engineer lead. As a game developer, especially solo developer, you have to do both. But that's where I'm at. Let's see. Don, the developer, says, I'm a fan of pair programming occasionally, especially when there is an opportunity for mentorship. Great point. Yep, exactly. Either way, I had a buddy that only codes through pair programming at work, though. That's driven me nuts. Yeah, I believe Netflix does that, which I heard they called it the XP, right? Extreme programming. I don't know if they still do it. I remember my friends who worked there was talking about it. Godot says, I absolutely hate... Oh, no, I read that. Godot says, yeah, peer reviews are fine. I don't like the two people, one keyboard type of pair programming. Yeah. I mean, they're trying to streamline code review, but it doesn't work. Maybe AI can be your peer programmer, and then you can just shut them up. Noxie says, I love peer programming, but the people above my colleagues and I hated it because they were like, you are two to make the work of one, and I think that's one of the most dumb thing a superior said to me. Yeah, exactly. I mean, efficiency, proficiency, all those things are like, it really depends on the goal. Like, what's your mindset of why you want to do it, right? The administration may come and be like, hey, I don't want errors, so maybe if we do this, everybody can become, every code will be perfect. But then the reality is not the case. Actually, pure programming is good if you want to learn, as opposed to being efficient. I think it's not an efficient approach. Nuxie says, yeah, I think your way of doing is the sweet spot, prototyping stuff to get the experience and refactoring to make it more strong in the future. I mean, that's what I like to do. Don, the developer, said, I didn't know that about Netflix. Interesting. I don't know if they're still doing it, but that's what I heard at one point. I might be pulling this information out of my butt. Incredible, welcome, Balls. Yesterday, I got banned on Unity stream because I said ball. That's funny. Oh, Unity had some sort of like show, right? They were announcing a bunch of stuff. I believe I have one developer that I follow on Twitter, I think, was showing, being like, hey, Unite has been awesome. I'm like, oh, how much did they pay you to say that? Because that was not your opinion a few months ago. But that's the cynicism in me. But yeah, I mean, there's no correct, perfect way to do it. You just need to be aware. See, this is the thing. Oh, caution for all the engineers out here. Very much a caution, because we like to do this. We're a little bit on the spectrum, and we like to... I shouldn't say that. That's so insensitive to people on actual spectrum. But anyways, aside from that point, what's really important is critically thinking about everything and not getting used to any one idea just because. I think that's what it is. You need to do things with reason, as opposed to being like, oh, it's good, therefore we're just going to keep doing it, right? That's often the problem with corporate, is because corporate takes the context. Team and rules and guidance takes the context out of the work, right? So I say, hey, we come into a meeting. We keep releasing bad codes out into prod. How do we fix this as a corporate, right? And so the people are like suggesting a bunch of stuff. Engineers are like, you know what? Junior engineers are having too much access in prod, but then we want to develop their skills. So I think we need to make sure we do more reviews, tighter process of reviewing their code. So now we got to codify it, meaning we got to make it a rule to make that work. So how do we do that? And, some people might be like, okay, let's have I've heard this pattern of extreme programming where a senior can sit with the junior as their program, and then they can, on real time, teach them. It's like one-on-one tutoring. There's a research saying that only way a person learns is through one-on-one. So they had that idea, but then all of a sudden now that's a rule. New team gets formed. The original ideator goes away, and new people come in, and they see the booklet, and they're like, okay, let's do this. And now the whole purpose of why they did that is lost. Now it's a rule. It's just like, I don't know, man. We got to do this. This is what we're supposed to do. I'm supposed to give you approval. Got a check mark saying that we have done this together. And like that kind of stuff happens. Cycle on and on and on. That's my experience, at least. Noxie says, and I mean, of course, one of the two people in the peer programming is going to learn something. So it's good for the future of this person, and it always relieved a lot of stress that made the work fun. Yeah, it really depends on your personality, Noxie. Unfortunately, some of us are also very stubborn, which means if two stubborn people get paired, it can be really miserable. If one stubborn person is reviewing you as your programming, that could be really miserable as well. Caliber 5, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Let's see. What do we got here? Corporal says the mods couldn't handle my ball. Yeah, the ball's too much. Kado says maybe they are on Spectrum ISP. Okay, bad joke. I didn't get it. Sorry. Fire them. That's what's going on. Don the developer says this is true. Yep. I have too much experience in corporate. 10 years, in fact. And I am done. Caliber says, hi, Supa Dupa. Hello. Welcome. But anyways, yeah. Patterns be damned. Just think about it. Think about why we were doing it. And that's what I hate about this. I'm always like, hey, why are we doing this? Can we talk about this? What did we think this was going to help with? Is it still true for us? I mean, this works with relationship too, right? We can be like, hey, other couples are doing blah, blah, blah. Should we do this? And I'm like, okay, why are they doing that? For what purpose? And how is it helping them? Is that relative to us, you know, as opposed to just doing it? Because everybody's different. You can't treat everybody by the pattern. And that's why human interaction is very difficult. Clip that, clip that, clip that. No, just kidding. I should probably send that to my editor. Anyways, Noxie says, haha, yes, it reminds me of this. Arguing with an engineer is like wrestling with a pig in the mud. After a while, you realize you're muddy and the pig is enjoying it. And now I'm picturing two stubborn devs in the mud. Yeah, mud wrestling. That's exactly it. I mean, that's the thing. Like, argument is also so contextual. I mean, some people may not agree with it. Incredible says, programming equals relationship. It really is sometimes. Everything is relationship. Everything is relationship, you know? Relationship is just how you handle your interaction with other people. And that could be friends, coworker, peer, your mentor, mentee. It's complicated. It really is. Sometimes nothing beats being alone all the time, but you know, that's not the healthy way to live. All right, enough of that. We're gonna get to start day here. So I am triggering the next here at the end of the state. And on the start of the day, I don't know if I need to do any other state other than, because day upkeep is where everybody gets stressed. Maybe there's something that could happen at the start of the day, but for now, nothing. So I'm gonna say immediately on the start of the day, it's gonna send it to next one, which is upkeep. Day upkeep. This needs to transition there. And before I do that, I'm gonna make a map here. States. Start day is start day here. And then, technically I could do this as a resource, but I think that's still an overkill. And then we're making a new node that's called day upkeep. And then I'm going to make that right here. Day up. I think that's what it's called. I wonder why it's not auto-completing, even though I have it here like this. Weird. There you go. And then I'm going to attach day upkeep onto state nodes. All right. Go to next state, does nothing right now. I want to make sure during this step, when it enters, everybody gets stressed. But, so here's the thing. By state, I can be like, hey, everybody gets stressed, so -1 stress, blah, blah, blah. Data gets implemented immediately, right? The problem with game designing or game developing, as opposed to like actual program making, is that data can't update immediately. It shouldn't. Because we want to show people like, oh, hey, this happened. People didn't notice. So we want to be like, hey, this is about to happen. And then the graphic manager needs to come over and be like, oh, here's a big, So I need to make sure I make a state variable that says queue up changes, basically, for the animation. What about here? Oh my god, there's so many chats here. Incredible is saying a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna play some Elden Ring because my monitor broke and also my audio interface broke and I'm broke, so can't do anything. We're all broke in spirit. Godot says, does Godot have automated testing tools built in, or is there a plugin for it? No, not really. They need to work on it. For C programmers, if you're using C script instead of the built-in GD script, then obviously C script has testing framework. Or not C. What do they do? C plus C sharp or something like that? I don't know. But they don't. I had to make my own testing framework for my dialogue plugin that I developed. Yeah, there's no like proper way. I mean, you can develop your own plugin too. So unfortunately, there's not much. I try searching it. Noxie says, going to go to sleep. Thanks for all the answers and discussion. Definitely learning a lot here. Bye, everyone. Have fun. Bye, Noxie. Thank you. Lamau, I see a go-to. Goto? Goto. Right here. Goto. Yeah, go-to. Caliber says, currently on my third 2D game in Godot, and by third, I mean another super simple masterpiece in the making. Ah, you gotta start small. You gotta start small. That's what everybody's telling you. You gotta do small games release out there. That's the goal of this game jam. So maybe that's what you want to do. Partake in this game jam. Make something complete in 1 month, and actually just like release it for sale. $1, 50 cents even. Just stumble upon you through YouTube, and I'm here to soak up some of that pro level wisdom. Let's go, developer. Yeah, thank you for thinking that is pro level. It's pretty vibe. I mean, I just like sharing what I've learned. If that makes me pro, I guess then I am pro, but it's more, I have a lot of scars on me, basically, in my programming body of war stories. Doesn't make me better, it just makes me a survivor. Quote, oh my god, that was deep. I don't know if it actually means anything, but sounded deep. Let's see. So we're on day upkeep here. Day upkeep. Stay. And from the day upkeep, I want to make it so that I want to trigger a stress change, right? Nah, I hate that I can't like directly edit it. I wish there's a kind of like global animation handler. Oh shoot, I'm getting to this like, I have a war in my head right now being like, this would be simple if I did it this way, but then like I'm like, oh, this is the right way to do it. Caliber says deep. It is deep. Deep goes the programming mind and life. Oh geez, we got Expended Q-Bar saying, how's it going? It's going great. We're working on our game still. I'm trying to get the beginning part working. I mean, I can get it to work by just like changing the number, but is that gonna not look good? Whatever, I'm just gonna do that. All right, so the way I'm gonna do it here is on enter, I'm gonna get the crew and everybody in the crew, or member and crew, which is a resource, array of resources called crew resource. I'm gonna create a function. Yeah. I'm gonna create a function called actually, do I even need to do a function? I can just like directly change it. So I could do member.stress, starting stress, stress limit, starting stress. Starting stress is different from current stress, I guess. I think I'm going to rename starting stress to be current stress. Current action points. So we got the... Oh no, starting action points. Current stress, starting stress. I think I need to make new ones here. Var current stress. Var current action points. And this would be the in-game variables, not the save variables, I suppose, or not the configurable variables. And then I suppose we also need current health then. Okay. So those are by default some values, I think. That also means in the beginning I have to definitely set those up. I suppose that should be handled on the select crew. When the crew has been selected, and at the end of it, right here, for each of the crews, which I'm getting the crew resource here, resource, I'm going to have to set its current values or whatever. So let's see, crew resource dot current health should equal to what is it, max health? Crew resource current stress to equal to crew resource starting stress. These are the configure stuff. Resource, the current action points would be starting action points. All right, those are set up. And then crew resources goes into the variable, close the page. And I have this add crew panel. So I'm going to change it so that it takes the current action points instead. Max HP would be current health for the crew, and then current stress. There you go. I mean, part of me wants to just pass the resource itself, but then I'm tightly coupling, so this is what I'm saying. So we have an info panel object here, right? And then these have these like variables to change. So info panel is this one right here. I don't know if it'll actually start. If I do this, each of these are info panel, right? And I have it so that it sets this, whatever. And I do that individually outside of the info panel. Another approach is to be like, hey, info panel should be aware of how to parse resource into a panel. Then now I'm all of a sudden coupling the crew resource information, awareness of crew resource information into the panel, which makes it less flexible. So I don't know. That's kind of the struggle that I'm going through right now. But it's okay. There's no like super correct way to do one or the other. So I'm going to keep it this way. Technically, I wish I could just connect the data. One benefit of doing the resource and then having the visuals be updated on loop, like process on a graphic loop. I can just update the data and then graphic automatically updates without having me set the value, which is convenient. But I don't want to do that right now. Okay, this is good. One thing I need to do on the info panel, though, I actually want to update it so that the action status progress bar has a label. I suppose I should make it a little bit wider, huh? Layout, let's make it 20. Do this vertically centered. Yeah. The layout for this actually should be anchors and full rect. Instead of that, it should probably be like 20. Same thing over here on health. I'll make the Y 20. And its label This one is health. Vertically centered. I know, it's gonna all look better later when I actually implement the actual thing. Graphics and all that. Hopefully, my artist friend comes around soon. I knew for a fact that they are playing Satisfactory right now. And I can't blame them because I was playing Satisfactory until just recently too. I kind of want to go back to it soon too. I have to sleep tonight though, so maybe not. That is life. We gotta be responsible adults here. Can't always do what we want. Though, can we not? Maybe we could. Maybe we could do what we want all the time. Why not, I say. Anyway, so that's out of the way. I have that settled. Back to the main page. But yeah, that is how it's going. All right. Whoops. Oh no! I keep pinning people's message by mistake. I need to stop doing that. Distance 100. It's gonna be more than that. It's not gonna be like one at a time. I'm thinking like instead of progress towards goal being yes or no, it's like fractional. So like you can make progress towards your goal anywhere between like 0 to 10 in a day, for example. So it's more like, because I think the big thing I noticed was that the whole like disappointment of not going anywhere is huge. So I'm trying to reduce a number of that by giving an option to progress just a little bit instead of not at all. Which might make even not going anywhere at all even more disappointing, which is kind of good, actually. Instead of starting stress, I want to say current stress minus equals 1. All right, so data is updated here. And I'd say this means Turnus. First thing Turnus says is lurk. It's great. It's okay. We're vibing here. We're all just chilling anyways. What does lurk command actually do anyways? Like, I know it's supposed to be like AFK signal, but what's the difference between that versus like keeping the streaming on without saying anything? I don't know. -1. Okay, so the state has updated. Now, the problem is that the info panels are not auto-updating here. So I think I might want to do something here. That might just be easier to do that. You know what? I'm gonna do it. It's just easier to do that. So I think I'm just gonna give an info panel. Resource. So we're gonna have some automatic graphic update here. And then we're probably going to do all this from the main. I'm going to copy this from the main. So this behavior right now, all of that is going to be handled by... This is a very Halloween themed music, this one, which is interesting. We're going to add info child. So I think info panel, say add crew resource is going to be just the crew. The problem with this is that I need to make sure it's immutable, right? Which means this displayer, info displayer, should never modify this resource. Because I definitely want to make it so that not on multiple places, not all observers should be a modifier. Because there could be a real headache if multiple spots that are pointing at the same resource or same variable are all doing their own thing to manipulate them. There could be some sort of issue there. Very hard to track bug. Turna says, I heard that lurking does something good with the Twitch stats. I love that. Thank you. So stay here and lurk. I think there is an issue with like people like if you mute Twitch, for example, manually, or mute YouTube manually, then you are no longer counted as a viewer because you're tabbed away. And so people have been using the trick of muting the browser tab instead of the actual browser player, which apparently does that kind of similar thing. Anyways, so that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. Let's see. So hopefully this is not a copy, but our actual pointer to the original resource. That is to say, if I modify this, the source gets modified as well. I do believe the first instance should be copy though, because if I make two soldiers, I don't want the... So I'm making resource from the resource file. So when I create it, I need it to feel unique. Like it needs to be a duplicate whenever I get a new one from the helper. So I'm going to do that. But the crew's here, crew data, resource helper. When I'm getting them, these resources, it needs to be a duplicate, I think. Though I don't know if that's an option that I can check here. Local to scene. That's not quite what I need. So I think duplicate is good. So we're going to duplicate it. This one I think also needs to be... what does all do? Calls the given callable on each element. I see. I mean, technically, but I can't. That's not what I want. Definitely there's no conversion. Maybe hash is a conversion. No, it isn't. Oh, well. I guess I'll just do that then manually. For... You know what? I'm not going to worry about this for now. Okay, so it's been copied. Info panel takes the resource and updates automatically. Let's see what is broken. New game, randomize, embark. They're all here. Good. It got generated. I don't know if the start day... reduced the stress or not. I wonder if our start day has to be a button. I think, let me compare if it's working. So stress is 3 out of 5 for comm operator. Comm operator. Oh, whoops, I didn't update the text. Wait, that's not it. 3 out of 5. Starts at 0, but it's already at 3. What? This is at 1, but the graphic is not reflecting. Weird. 2 out of 4 for soldier. Some of them seems like it's correct, some of them it doesn't. Soldier starts at 0. Oh, wait, what? Oh, it's because I got rid of it. I got rid of that variable and then came back to it. Whoops. All right, well, I'm going to have to adjust. Hold on. Current stress, current action point. Yeah. And when I create the main, I made it so that it's starting action points. Yep, is the current action point. Oh, right. I need to change it. So it's not that. Weird. Starting stress is all lost. That information is all lost. So I need to fix that. But before that, on the info panel, I am setting the values. And then I'm updating the text as well. So it should all be correct. 3 out of 5, 2 out of 4. Seems correct. I don't know how this is actually working. Let me restart the project. Stay a while and listen. My throat is a little itchy. I think it might have been reset now. Huh. What's up with this delay? Oh, I see. Well, jeez. I hate noticing bugs that are not part of the goal that I have, because that really makes it slow for me. Randomize button. Corruption shuffle, button pressed. And then I need to do the whole check thing, check rule limit and disable this thing afterwards. No longer works. There you go. Oh. Oh, that's right, because I didn't turn it off. There you go. Okay, cool. 0 here, 3 here, 2 here. I don't know how it's starting researcher here. Let me see. Researcher. Oh, it's starting stresses too. Okay, cool. Engineer 3. Interesting that citizen has 0 stress. Oh, I guess it is starting at 0. I guess not knowing anything gives you no stress. But that also means it should have gone to 1 at the start. Oh, it's because it didn't go to the upkeep. That's right. So now that the start of the day executed, and start day says go to next state is day upkeep. Instead, I'm going to make it automatically transition to the day upkeep, and day upkeep will trigger -1 state. There you go. Yep. Now, it shouldn't be -1, it should be plus. I forgot. So it is updating. Beautiful. Okay. Alright, so we got the info panel that updates automatically as I update the stats. Oh my gosh, it's already so stressed. 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 2 out of 3. Whoops. I'm actually make one less for everybody. It's a little bit too stressed already. That's not the intention. Gotta balance this out. Alright. Alright. We got the game going. We select. We embark. Great. Start distance to destination, I think. Right here. This is a voyage info UI. And I think that should rely on a voyage state. That could be its own resource that gets updated. I wonder if I can pass the whole state variable and have it listen to it instead. That might work instead of making its own resource. Let's see. Lo-fi. Kind of want more upbeat stuff. Why is it so sad? Peaceful. Let's see if that does anything. I mean, I could technically... Oh my goodness. I could technically play Chill Hops, but Chill Hops always has issues, as I said. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so next thing, trying to decide on this. Distance to destination is definitely 0. Day 1 will be incremented. Start day, day upkeep. I think start day is probably where when it enters it should update the date. Variable here, day count, that's right. So on the start day, state manager, game state variable, day count should be +=1. I think I'm gonna make it so that this voyage info UI gets revealed after the crew is selected. Update or show voyage info UI. I think I'm gonna put this over here. I don't know if it should be something that main handles, or if I just say voyage info UI. Update. Show. And that's gonna take game state manager's variable. Game state variable. Cool. So that means I'm gonna make this UI script. So I'm probably gonna have its own directory. I'm gonna create a UI for, or directory for just UI is potentially, yeah, game display. Let's make a folder for game display. Game display UI. And then we're gonna create a folder for voyage info. I suppose I shouldn't I'm making it so that's just one word without the underscore. So game display. I suppose I should just call it game UI. I could have called it just UI too. I'm gonna save this branch as a scene. So it's its own thing. And then I'm going to attach script to it under voyage info. Voyage info UI. And then func show does something. And it should retain a game state var, which is game state variables. And then that's what's getting passed here. So that's going to equate to that. And it's gonna show itself. The reason I did that this way, the function signature doesn't match the parent. Parent? Oh, I guess the VBucks container has a function called show already. How about we say start? I mean, I could... you can't overload functions in GDScript. That's the only issue. That's why it's like, hey, parameter doesn't match. How about we call it... Let's see. Show... I don't want to reveal update. Update? It's an update now. I think I should just call it show or start UI. I think it's probably a good idea because it's like an initialization anyways. You know what? I'm not going to even do that. I'll just do visible control. C can't function overload either. Oh, interesting. Is that a Java thing then? I mean, in my corporate like culture, I guess my engineering experience is mostly Java. And then I had obviously TypeScript experience. I don't know if that's obvious. I mean, I've worked with C before, but I don't think I've done C enough to know. Obviously, we've all done assembly in C in school, right? Right? We've all made Tetris in assembly before, right? Or is it just me? I made Game Boy games in assembly and C. That's part of my class back in the day. C++ you can. I guess that makes sense because that's part of the overloading function is part of the object-oriented concept. So as soon as you go from the functional programming all the way up to the object-oriented programming, well, language that is meant for object-oriented programming, you start to get stuff like overloading, I think. Interesting. All right, good to know. So if it is empty, don't do anything, obviously. But if it is not, then I think voyage info should update based on this. So for example, right here, it's not by default hidden, just in main and happens to be hidden. This is something you need to really be careful of here for sure. I'm going to rename this actually to match the pattern. Voyage info UI, like so. Yeah. So this needs to be attaching this script right here by default. And I think what's important here is that Shoujo Boy says, "Hi, Inamuth. Hey, long time no see, no. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you." But Shoujo Boy says, "Regular dude here watching computer things I don't understand." Perfect. Lovely. Be watching things, be hearing things, listen to music, just vibe. You know, we're just relaxing here. Main thing you need to understand is I'm making a game. We had a paper play, so Tametani Kyoto. is back. Thank you. What was I talking about again? We were talking about names. We were talking about flashpoints. We're talking about your experiences. You were talking about putting me as a podcast. Blah, blah, blah. That's our life. And then we got Shoujo Boy here. Anyways, so let's see. I'm going to make it so that these data listen to some of the variables here. I believe it is distance to destination and day count that I care about. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make it so that the progress bar updates. So right here, we got progress bars, value, which will be distance to destination. For now, it's out of 100. And then also day number text is going to update based on the string version of the day count. So this will have been on process, so it'll update automatically based on the values on there. It's 0 by default. And in the beginning of the game, instead of show, where'd it go? I'm gonna have one that says set this value, and then make it visible. So the voyage info will show up. Another thing I want to do is, so right now it's going to say day 0 when I start the game, right? Or day 1. Weird. It does say day 1. Did I already add the state to update the day? Oh, I guess I did. Okay, so it works. Great. It works. Day 1. Tamani Kyoto says, right, thank you for reminding me that. Yeah. I have some other topics to share here, such as my development progress and all that. Well, that's good to know. I mean, we're here for chat. Hi, Abyss Angel. Thank you for joining me on YouTube there. What is paper play testing actually? Also, hi. Paper testing is part of the game design process where you, before you program, you test the game concept like a board game on a paper, like index card or like whatever you can. I have this Excel sheet and the wheels I prepared, which I've done a few times. I forgot what was Wheel Spin app. It was called the Wheel of Names. I had these things set up, as you can see. Random loot wheel. I had some other wheels, and I play several times with different people here on stream. Let's see. Is it under idea? It might be ship game. There it is. Like this was the gameplay right here. I played with people being like, hey, how many players do you, or how many, well, which crew do you want? We randomly roll. Anytime something comes up, I'll roll the wheel, use that as a kind of like the gameplay, and then have people try to beat it and then get feedback from it. That way you're making the game design, you're proving the game concept of like its basic funness of the game without having to worry about programming it. And that way you can also balance change values on the fly. It's just a more convenient way to test your game in the beginning. So I did that. That's the paper test. Yeah. Let's see. Kudo says, do you have teammates for this 1 month challenge? I do, actually. Well, I'm telling all the all the game jam participants. By the way, I am hosting a game jam, and this is part of it. I actually did it for myself for fun, and people wanted to join, so I made a game jam. It's a 1 month long thing, and we rolled some topics for each of the wheels. Anyways, we love wheels here, apparently.
and limit is 3 people. And I myself is having 3 people as a team. More like I hired people. I mean, one of them is good friends, so it's not really going to cost anything. We're just going to try to do rev sharing. The other one I'm just paying out. I have a musician and artist in the team. I already gave them the game idea, communicated with them, had some brief discussions about what are the kind of inspirations and mood board. So there is something like that. Typically, I would do everything by myself, but I think the whole point for me is like trying to make something publishable and purchasable that I can be proud of and have something that I can say, hey, I'm going to sell. So that's the whole point. So I wanted to try with a team. I've never done a team before, so this is great. Snazzy Girl says, hey, I'm CS grad student and was software engineer. I'm new to your channel. Can you tell me what you do and what are you doing? Hi, Snazzy Girl. Thanks for joining me. I am I am a former software engineer. I worked at fan companies. I mean, I say it so many times that I feel like it's clickbait every time I say it, but I basically worked at Amazon for 8 years and Google for 2 years, so total like 10 professional. I mean, I worked at AT&T before that. Anyways, I've been working for a while in a software engineering world. I've started doing YouTube like beginning of last year, like January, during the big tech layoff. Just coincidentally, I got laid off as well, which was a great start. So I wanted to make games all the time. So I'm making games, and that's my YouTube. I went viral initially on my first video because I was like, I got laid off. And then I talked about, I don't want to work at big tech anymore. This is a reason, blah, blah, blah. So I made those videos. They got like 100,000 views or something like that. And then now I'm completely doing game dev stuff. And now I'm getting into streaming as I'm doing some live development. But namely, this is kind of funny because I did this one and then I did this one, Why I Won't Return to Big Tech Job. And, you know, a lot of the comments and questions are like, oh, hey, what do you think about this and this? So people want me to do career stuff here. So I had to pivot into like, no, I don't want to do this. Please let me do this. So that's where I'm at. But right now I'm making the game that I want to make. But I do answer questions. I talk about my experience with corporate culture if you have any questions. So. Tamatani Kyoto says, for the development progress, I was going to update the game to 1.4D. Oh, 1.4D? Not even 1.5D? 2.5D? Which this is a mega major update with abundant content, but the expected update release is on October. The game I was finishing was the first volume of The Time Will Travel, which I only have 11 volumes to plan on finishing them. Wait, is this already a published game? I want to see. I would love to see these games. Let's see what you got. Though link is not allowed, so you might have to share that to me via DM. Mikori, thanks for showing the jam link. Snazzy Girl says, that's good. Any advice for new grads? I have a lot. Definitely getting a job is good. Obviously, fresh out of the college is a good spot to just take interview, but don't be distraught if you don't do well on the interview, because interview taking is its own skill. And a lot of times having interviewed people for those jobs multiple times is luck of the draw as well, depending on the person. But there is a very specific guideline that we search for. Actually open. Recruiters talk about it all the time, being like, hey, for example, Amazon has like Amazon leadership principle. And they literally assign people and say, hey, you, when you ask your questions, look for this leadership principle. And that's where you do it. So like if you can be as like soulless as possible with those things, you have really good chance. But at the same time, it's not about solving problems, it's about communication. So all the things you learn in CS is great. We don't think that's special. I don't think you think that is special too. Between anybody who can program, that's base, right? You know how to program. It's not about do you know how to program or do you not know, do you remember this information or not. Obviously, there's some basic stuff that we would like you to know. But a lot of times we think it's teachable. Most important thing for corporate is that you are adaptable and you are willing to work through and communicate through things that you don't understand and you don't know. It's the whole thing about like if you're a perfectionist and be like, hey, I'm not going to talk until I understand fully. That's not what you want. You want to be able to kind of talk through your thought process, because it's all more about because out of hundreds of jobs that you're going to do, out of hundreds of coding you're going to have, work on throughout your career, there will at least be one, if not a lot more, that you're not going to know how to do. There's never a case where you know exactly what you're going to do. And so what's important skill is that you know how to approach things that you don't know, as opposed to you know how to approach things you know. So that's one tip. I don't know. If you have any specific questions, ask me. Those are the kind of general tips that I give to any juniors that I run across. Tamatani says 4.4D is a demo version. D indicates as a demo. Oh, I see. Like the version of. Okay, that's cool. Once it's released, it goes back to 1.4. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was kind of the process for all those things. Interesting. Kado says, I mean, being knowledgeable about computing is important too. It is important. I'm not saying it's not important, Kado. What I'm saying there is like, it's not special to be knowledgeable in coding. I mean, of course, you can be more knowledgeable than most people and be really impressive. That's good too. But interview criteria rarely put that as a major impact, right? So if there are like 5 leadership principle or 5 components of your interview process that we look to, coding or coding knowledge is only one of them, you know? But it is important. I'm not saying it's not. It's just that at base, that's a basic requirement. Like that's a screening process. A lot of the big companies have like 2 screening 1-hour session, right? Like the phone call or like the submit your solution to this problem. That's like, do you know how to code in general? After that, it's more like, let me hear you think about your coding. Let me hear about how you go through problems. That's more important. But yeah. Snazzy says, should I switch? Snazzy Girl says, should I switch tech stack? You're a JavaScript developer. And what if I say I'm an international student? Don't get too hung up on front versus back. I mean, my experience is that, I mean, it's good to be front end. Oh, shoot. Ed. I'm pretty sure. Let me know if you're an ed. I guess you couldn't. Dang. Well, I'm going to wait until this like ad goes through. I couldn't catch it fast enough. Yeah, you can send it here if you want me to try and play it. Though I'm less willing to play if it's like downloadable, like executable file. I'm sorry. If you have a web browser version of the game, I would gladly play. But if it's like executable version, unless on this itch or like we build some rapport, then we're fine. But Abyss Angel says, hey, YouTube no ads. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to continue Snazzy Girl just in case you're back. That's what I thought you said. I know. I was saying that there are ads. I was saying, oh, ads. I didn't catch the ad, so I won't talk about my answer until ad is done. That's what I was saying. Yeah, I know. I was saying front-end focus is good. It's rare to us back-end developers because back-end and full stack is basically the same thing. Full stack, because I'm a full stack engineer. And as an experienced engineer or a software developer, you don't care about what coding language you do, right? You're like, I'm comfortable with Java, but you know for a fact that you know how to work with other languages. You know how to learn it. And it's not that hard. It takes like maybe 2 weeks to learn different languages, right? Because at base, the concept is the same. Now, of course, front end is a little bit different because there's a skill set with different patterns, and then also aligning and the patterns of getting like the certain components to look a certain way is pretty tedious, and people don't like to do it. But if you're a full stack, then it's like, yeah, like you're a prototyping person. That's what full stack means essentially. So you're making server changes, and then if the front end needs to call that server changes, then you can do that as well, which makes you a very valuable software engineer. So, I mean, whatever you do, you just need to do it with commitment and conviction. That's all I'm saying, Sanity Girl. So you don't need to switch. If you like it, if you like doing front end, look into all the other different languages and different experiences of front end, and you can be really proficient in it, and you still can get a job with that. It's not a problem. Tamatani, I was saying, you can share the game. You can't share a link in the chat, so you'll have to do it in Discord. And also, if it is executable, I don't like to play that unless it's on itch. If you get a browser version where I can play through a browser, then maybe I can play. But otherwise, we need to build some rapport first. We got to build trust. And then we can try, is what I was saying. Hi, Revi. Did you finish the game? Are you done with the... I don't know if you were actually on Satisfactory server or not. I want to play so bad right now, but I'm doing this game. Hopefully, mood board is coming along nicely, Revi. You're getting your art in. I need art. Look at me right now. Look, this is what's happening here. This is my game. This is my game right now. You can just imagine what the backdrop will look like. Let's see. Snazzy Girl, hopefully you heard me answer. But anyways, we gotta say, make a whole game in Malbolga. What is that? What's Malbolg? Malbolga is like some sort of German programming language. Snazzy Girl says, sorry to... no, I already read that. Inoma says, you need some artistic criteria to do front end. Yeah, you kind of do, right? Like, that's what makes it special. Like, I can never go into a job interview being like, I am a front-end engineer. I always give a preface like, I see that it's a front-end role. I'm a full-stack engineer, focused on server. I can learn how to do it, and I am not afraid to do new things. And I'm actually excited to do new things. That's what I say all the time. And I love getting thrown into the unknown and figuring out how to do it. And I'm very proficient in it. That is usually my job in a company. People love that. Employers love that when I say that. I don't know why. It works. They're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what we were looking for. It's funny. Anyways, let's see. Oh my gosh. I'm catching up on chat here. Inomath says that takes time, like learning programming patterns. Yeah, it does. It does take time. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. I can never do it. It's too tedious too. The process of front-end engineering is too tedious. But once you get used to it, you get it. I have friends who really love front-end engineering, but then got forced into back-end engineering as a job. Tamari said, yeah, I can do that on Discord. Yeah, great. Hassan Python. Hi, Hassan Python. Kubilay Lim says, hey, please play my keylogger.exe game. Thank you. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. I can't do that. I mean, yeah, what are you talking about? This is a game about logging keys. You type, and it just lives in your computer forever. That's it, Oh, I missed some YouTube chats. YouTube says, we got a Biz Angel. The game jam I'm doing is playable in Google Slides. Would you try it? Google Slides? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll try it out. Kado on YouTube now. I switched to YouTube. Twitch is really laggy for me today for some reason. It might be me. It might be Twitch thing. Maybe. Ravi says, I have not played much Satisfactory, lol. Mikori says, no, totally installed my Godot game. That doesn't have a PCK file and is called lols.exe. JK. I love how all these are hyperlinks now. That's funny. Mikori says, JK. Ravi, send me some screenshots so I know what we need. I mean, hey, requirements here. I want some general arts and mood boards first. I want to see what you got. Definitely here, I want some sort of... So, oh my gosh, I messed it up. So we got title screen. Definitely something. But I definitely need something here. And I'm not sure if this is actually for the spacefaring game. This is actually vibes. Like the choose a role. Definitely need a font choice. Suggest me a font to buy. I'll do that. Some button design, right? We got the embark button. We got the randomize. I don't know what that default button is going to look like. I'm not even sure if it's going to be located here. It would be cool to have some sort of I don't know if it's going to be FTL like ship. that's right here, and as I click them, they show up. Or if it's going to be like Street Fighter style portrait that pops up. It would be cool to have portraits, but if portrait is too much work, I would also love to have just kind of like little 64 by 64 character design too. That's fine too. I might have to skip ads here. And then you see these status. I definitely need a stress indicator, health indicator, and action point indicator. And I think action point is probably not a progress bar, but more little dots, little green circles maybe. While this is playing, I think there would be a cool like voyage, little ship, and then in the ship I can click people wherever they are. That's what I'm thinking. But anyways, Ravi, that's kind of the thought we have here. Abyss says slay what? What am I slaying? Let's see. Send me some screenshots. Yeah. Tamatani is going to the Discord. It says, I was there, but there are some issues around. There is no specific channel for game links. First, you need to check mark this thing to be able to gain access on everything that you understand the rule. Either on feedback, do feedback if you want people to be really critical of your game, or try Game Jam Share. Or Showcase. Yeah, Showcase if you just want to show things. But this is for more art. I say Game Jam Share is probably fair. Feedback. I say feedback if you want me to give you feedback. Hi, Caliber. Hi. Let's see. Abyss Angel says, slay! What are we slaying? What are we slaying? Are we saying slay? I don't know. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh my goodness. I'm having trouble catching up with the chat here. You can tell me what channel and I'll send. Yep. Revi says, okay, cool. I'll be doing a lot of art this weekend. I think portrait is possible. Great. I love it. And general ship design too, if you want to. It would be awesome to... You don't have to do the inside. Just like general silhouette and outside too for the image. It could be cool if it's like actually like Prometheus ship. That'd be cool. But no, it doesn't have to be. What is it? What is that space anime? Like a space Captain... There's a anime that's called Captain something. Captain Harlow? No, maybe that's not it. No, it's not Pirate Harlow. It's like some sort of like space pirate thing. Revi says, been so tired from work this week. Yeah, it's okay. No, take your time. Worst case scenario, I'll figure something out eventually. I don't know. At the end of the day, we don't need everything to be able to test it in the beginning. Kubilai Lim says, I made a Unity demo on itch. Whenever I needed something, I would just go for free assets. There are many great art out there for free. Yeah, exactly. I love free arts. I mean, I love all those things. But the goal of this jam for me is to make a publishable game. So I would like to really be intentional with every assets, including sound. So that's what I'm doing. Revi says, yeah, I'm feeling that for sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad like some of the feeling is getting across to you as an artist. I'm really excited to see what kind of things come together. Like 100% creative freedom. Only restriction is the rule of the game. Tamatai says, Time Will Travel is not in any jams. It's a project. It should be in the Showcase channel already. Okay, cool. All right. Iced Coffee, welcome back. Hello Chat says, nice. Inoma says Captain something. Yeah, Captain something. It wasn't anime. It's old school anime, so it might not be well known to people. All right. This is Under Itch. Okay, that's safe. That's safe. And it's a browse run. All right. Oh, it's a visual novel. Love it. I love Hatoful Boyfriend. It says about a story about what tool did you use? What's the engine you're using? I remember when the visual novel studio first came out. That was fun. Astronomy and saving for the future by traveling back time. Two star pieces try to save the people who disappeared from the past. Oh, that's an interesting thing. Concept. I'd love to see how that turns out. But with one condition. The star pieces must not die from the current timeline, or you may stay dead in that timeline as a star piecer. Meet Kanashi Shinsei and Midori Kensai, the duos who signed the contract from a mysterious man. They utilized their ability in order to save the people they found, or dug around with more information. Time will travel from past to future. In today's volume, it's about a VTuber who went widespread after a creator's death happened. Ooh, some murder mystery visual novel. That sounds fun. I'll play it in a bit, just a sec. Reading the FAQ is optionally required if you want to see how this game gets developed over time. I see. I'll get to it. I'm just going to play it a little bit. Since you are here and you wanted to demo this, I'll do that. Just briefly, I can't promise I'm going to play all the way through because I do need to continue working on my project. But let's see what the vibe's about. All right, well. Renpai loading. Hanazumi project. This visual novel is not suitable for teens that are under... Oh! Teens under 16. Careful. Some mental illness. Hey, I mean, I hear you. Okay. If you have any issues, there are hotlines. Okay. Time will travel. Oh. Look at that piano's music. Oh, they're tutorials? Hopefully this gets all discussed in the game. Let's put Kome as our friend dummy. You are the one who's going to choose some choices here. One thing to note about is that your choices are completely affected. There is that one choice that increases the point, and where it decreases just doesn't change at all. Oh, I might have to change the sound level. There you go. You gotta be more careful in what you choose. Hate. You decide to hate on Kome. Oh. Alright, you already picked your choice. As you can see here, you got 0 points. Kome will not trust you if you give her negative choices. Ah. The best advice here is to give her positive choices. It might not matter, but it depends. I see. Now that you understand about points, you can try another tutorials here. Glossaries. I think I understand glossary though. Now I'll be discussing glossaries. When you spot a word, you can hover. Now try hovering me here with the cursor. If you didn't do it, you can go back. I didn't do it. Spot a word. Okay, here. Ah. I feel like the ones that can be hovered should be in different color. Or different font. And that's my little thought, because it's hard to tell. Like, is it part of the gameplay where I need to, like, hover over everything? Alright. Let's go back. Whoops. Whoa, what did I just do? Oh, I just scrolled. Whoops. Alright, menu. Going back to the game. Skip. What am I skipping? Oh, that's not it. Whoops. Here it is. Oh, it's powered by Renpai. Okay, I see. Hold on, how do I restart the game? That's the thing. How do I go back to the top? I guess I will just reload. Here, let me reload. Tametani says, using a different font will spoil the fun. Yeah, okay, I get it. I mean, that's what I was asking. If it's like meant to be like hidden words where you don't know which one can be highlighted. Well, I didn't know how to get back, so. Alright. Please give him first name, max 12 character. Kanashi. Shinsei. Type your username, max 24 character. Do not use your actual name, please. Kanatensei. You don't want to? Sure, just keep it as default. Oh, it understands that I did default. Hey, it's one of those games. Love it. Do you want to skip the intro? Watch the intro. Oh. This is I love this. I love this background. It reminds me of webtoons. Yeah. Like I mean obviously I have Clip Studio Art or Clips Paint Studio or Manga Studio, what it used to be called. They have some assets. Reminds me of that. Ooh, light turns on. Some knife sound. Oh, we're in the room. I love the color and the layout. Very curved. This sounds alright. Being a VTuber is hard. Might be the stupidest question I've ever heard. Oh well, I had to warn my fans about this. This might not be good for me, but I'll make my ends meet for today. I had enough being as a snowy character. I had enough being the first part of the company. I had enough of everything I do in my entire life, for 18 years. I might have met my goal here. I know that no one is going to care about this. She wrote a note. Even if I wrote a note, they will still not care. Especially mom and dad. They'll not care about me unless I'm gone. At least it was truthfully heard of. They tend to get angry and ignorant towards them when their kids existed. But they only care if their kid is gone. Ever since they were busy working at school, they seemed to lost my attention. They didn't care. I was entirely ghosted. She checked through her phone, looking at past messages. At some point, are these online friends care about me anymore? The friends I made in that company. Oh, the company VTuber company? The friends I made in school for years. Am I getting ignored? Well, I shouldn't be wasting any more time. The action on what I'm going to do will affect everything. This will speak louder than words. The video starts recording towards her, holding a knife. I think I shouldn't matter on speaking anymore. Let's just do it. No more laters or tomorrows. Oh no! Ooh. That sounds so real. Oh, I don't like it. Pressing the menu button in game pauses the game, then press the menu on the pause menu takes you back into the main menu. I should change the menu text to pause. Thanks for letting me know about that. It'll be part of the 1.4D Mega Major update. Good. I'm glad I could help. Then she uploaded that footage. After she did upload the footage, she doesn't move, letting her only sit at her chair with the PC still on. Grim! While she was bleeding away into her demise, it wasn't long for it to be noticed. They saw everything, and there is no way to reverse the hidden damages. Unless... Chapter 1, Contract. Oh, it's at least dramatically interesting. The alarm keeps going on his phone. Oh, that's me. Kina Kensei. Alarm stopped. Kinashi Shinsei. How did I woke up a bit late? 6:30 already? That's so early. What do you mean? Well, I should get prepared for now. The homework's up. Okay. 6:50 a.m. 10 minutes until the bell rings. Ah, sounds like I have more time to explore this place. This might be my right time to check for rumors and gossips. Oh, kind of like, you know, Persona has that checking gossip section. I'm not going to compare it, though. I mean, that's what you need to do at the campus later. Hey, have you heard this weird rumor before? Oh, hold on. Tamatani, I have a question. Did you write these music? Because I'm realizing I might actually get flagged on YouTube if I'm not careful. I like the music, but I don't want to get flagged. Oh. I mean, I'm guessing it's from Erased. Credits, asset used. I mean, if it's free. Tallbeer.itchy music loop bundle. Oh, you did purchase it. I mean, I might get flagged, but it's okay, whatever. What is it? I like to hear that ever since there's nothing to talk in this school. There's I mean, there's something about the sentence structures that I'm like sometimes a little confused and got caught off by, but seems like it's an interesting story so far. Kaneshi snuck up nearby the campus walls, hearing every information he wanted to get. He got his notes ready, waiting for further information. So this rumor was months ago, but I seem to remember this a little bit. A month ago, huh? How did it took so long to go widespread? I think it was a VTuber called Yukino Mumeko. Mumeko, the first VTuber in the Varkana VTubing company. Everyone's favorite character since the start of the Varkana. Oh, I see. Yukino Mumeko. Yeah, no, I wasn't saying that you were SF flipping. I'm saying... So sometimes when I play the music on my YouTube stream, they're like, hey, that's not your music. You're demonetized. So that's something that I need to worry about as a streamer all the time. I think it was called, okay, cool, next. She's also from the Varka... Oh. I can ignore it, I think. As far as I heard the news, I think she just stabbed herself during her last recording that night. It was terrifying. Oh no! Gladly, someone got the video until it was deleted within hours. I might have to look further on this. Yeah, what happened? Months ago? Why is she doing it on purpose? This is some messed up stuff. I mean, it's getting... I'm getting that kind of like, hey, something happened. Can you believe it? We gotta fix this kind of thing. I mean, that is a genre, I think. Did it just go darker quick first day? I don't know, but I also remember her multiple canceled streams, which happens to be her own health issues. That might be the main cause. I'll take a note on that. The bell rang. Alright, going back to class. Sometime later. 1 p.m. after school. More rumors that are spreading here. Look for further rumors. Should I look for it or wait for something? I'll look for some rumors. I should look for rumor and noted all of them he could find everywhere after school. Alright, I think that's all. Ask your friend about the information, investigate it yourself. I'll ask. I guess I had to tell the club. Where have they gone already? Oh well, I might be late to the party anyways. I guess I had to do it myself, so you're doing it yourself? Okay, cool. Sounds like the sun is already setting. Well then, let's just take a deep look into this. After some hours of researching, Kanashi saw the horrible things that happened a month ago. Oh, so that's what happened. To be honest, why would she overreact to such small things? Varkana, cancel streams, her condition. There might be something wrong with her company she was in at the time. Oops. I scrolled too much. There might be something, yeah. Oh well, I might have to look more deeper into this weird case. Kanashi took a deeper look at it. Well, I don't know why. I better need some rest after this. Interesting. Kanashi took a headrest until... Hey, wake up. Huh? Who's there? It's me. I woke you up this late in the morning. You can call me Shimon. I don't have a surname. Shimon, is that your actual name, just without the last name? Exactly. I'm a mysterious guy, you know. Can you tell me why you woke me up this late? I'd be damned if I was late to school. Oh, star piece, sir. Your own group. You've signed a contract for this, at least by choice, of course. Oh, I'm a VTuber too. All right. I was on request for a new star piecer, so I thought you'd fit too. Star piecers are just... Oh, never mind. You're a group of time travelers, which are recruited and bound by contract. Though I get a lot of dizziness from all of this time traveling. Excessive amount of distortions from the traveling can be seriously damaging, even as a star piecer. I have seen why some of the star piecers died after traveling to the design designated time. I see. After death, they can't go back because it requires the font is not dyslexia friendly, I would have to say. I don't have dyslexia, but I'm noticing that it requires the users to be AOA, alive on action, not killed in action. What's alive in action? Interesting. I almost died from that, which is where I carefully use my ability to moderate uses. So that's how it works. Yeah, and you can't abuse the ability. Abyss says, the font is a bit bold. I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, there's part of it where I'm like, oh, I'm getting confused. It's like narrow enough, and everything is very long. So the eyes and like a lot of the letters can be very interchangeable for the eyes because it's like all like very similar shape. Remember, you'll bound yourself into a contract, and that's against your own contract. Once you violated that, well, I don't want to talk about it. I'd be dead if I gave this private information. Well, we know we're going to have to get that information out of them. Well, I had my fate. Tani says the font is called this. It is Bebas Noir. No. It is widely used font. I mean, I believe you. I'm not saying font isn't used widely, and it might be common. Fact is that it still feels confusing. It's not a criticism. I was just commenting. Well, I have my faith there. I just don't want to talk about it further too. Exactly. I guess you already understood why. Remember this one bit. I will not be able to assist you further as a Star Guard if I break my own contract. Though I also can't assist you if you're already got yourself into killed in action state. Because that's how life works. You can save someone, but not yourself. Not even the Star Piecers can save you from death. Interesting. Honestly, you would be alive. Well, all right. I was kind of curious about that. In safety cases, you shouldn't do something experimental to yourself. We've had many concerns about it. Trust me, you wouldn't like it. You'll die at the same place you died in that timeline. No matter what time you go or what time it is, your body will pass itself from time to time. Without further ado, do you sign the contract? Let's sign it. Whatever you say, yellow guy. Huh? Kanashi signed the contract. All right, let's see. So you're Mr. Shinsei? Yeah, why? It's nothing. I'm just making sure I respectfully know your name. Aside from you, though, you're still learning at school. Don't ask why I got that information, though. I just traveled back in time. So am I already bound? Yeah, you don't need to worry about it. Here's your clock watch. You'll need it for your ability. Clock watch obtained. I see. So this is a thing you need to use. Yes, I have mine as well. You can see the date, the time. Should go for today. I mean, I guess this is part of visual novel experience. Also, I noticed this about like Japanese visual novels a lot, is that the exposition is very thorough. Part of the exposition, like if I'm here like treating it like, oh, I'm watching this anime or I'm like reading this manga or reading this book, feels okay. You slept back after a discussion with Shimon. Heavy exposition. I mean, it's visual novel. So I understand that there's an audience for this, and this is what it is. But part of the conversations that I feel is like, But to be fair, Tamatani Kyoko share this game as a showcase as opposed to a feedback. So I'm going to reserve my feedback. I'm just going to play it. A little bit different here. Calm down, Kaneshi. I want to travel time. Why it's taking so long? Get me to travel time though. I want to see it. I want to see I want to see the mystery. Killed herself a month ago. Am I correct? Yeah, why? Just never mind. I'd like some updates to your own quest. Is she even your important person? No, but everyone's. Everyone's been crying too hard and spreading it on social media. Say everything, but it seems possible with my own ability you gave me right. Just like Great Depression all over again. Honestly, this investigation sounds very interesting. You seriously have the courage to save her, don't you? Well, not yet. I still need to find out who's behind the suicide. Alright then. I should go back into my own DD. You do you. What should I do? Start the investigation, obviously. My room feels like it was a year ago, so that means Kaneshi opened his laptop and saw the date. She was right. Last time it was 2019. Now it's 2000. Oh, I did travel. From what time did I went? All right, I forgot about the Varkana company. Oh, it's happening again. Oh. I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully nothing game breaking. I mean, okay, look, like story's interesting. I want to keep playing it. I mean, there's a part of it where I'm like, okay, well, this is an interesting introduction. I think there can be a fun gameplay. I just do not have the time at the moment. So I think this is as far as I can play at the moment. I would love to see where it goes, though. Um, Revi says, I actually love Persona 5, but I still struggle with too much dialogue sometimes. Yeah, I get that. Tamatani says, did you even hover on the same glossary? Do not try to hover on that. It's broken in the current version. Oh, I see. I see. Don't worry, it's okay. Well, I mean, there's a lot of reading right now, and I think I get the story. I understand what the gameplay is. It's sometimes the choices come up, I click it, and then it takes you through the things. And that would be really interesting if I really get deep into it. I think I already know her profile page. And then I can see that it's like, it can be like a really fun version of novel, and that's hence the visual novel. I think I need to get back on to working on my game at the moment. But yeah, no, I mean, it looks good so far. Like the assets and everything is great. I mean, as you said, these are like, you're getting these assets from here. You're carefully putting them together, their choices. I'm interested in what the murder mystery is. I mean, I thought it was pretty clear that she killed herself. So like, is there a mystery? Like, I'm not sure what the mystery is. So I'm very intrigued by that. Yeah. Tamatani says, go back to menu and see the about and look at the version. 1.3D. Yeah. Anyways. All right. Well, thanks for sharing. That was fun. Maybe in the future, once I have some chill time in between chill times, maybe I'll have time to play. There you go. But yeah, cool. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Abyss Present says, do you have noise canceling stuff in your setup, or is your mic just fire? My mic is fire. No, I do have this. So we have a noise suppression, and we have an expender. So you can see expender is where it starts to diminish sound volumes if it's under certain decibels. Same thing as a decibel gate. So you probably hear a lot of the noise as soon as I start talking, right? So that's what expender does, I think. I also had to heavily tune down the EQ. But yeah, well, I saved my progress. Tamatani, thanks for sharing again. I'm going to have to get back into this. Where was I now? So we're a certain day, the day increases, day upkeep. Tony Stark looking set up. I don't know, it sounds great. Thanks. I do have one of these. On the major reflective surfaces, if it's like directly left of me or top of me, I have a few panels to absorb reflection. I'm going to have to redo this. I'm actually moving soon. I've already signed a lease, so that's going to be pain. I'm going to try to move my setup as a last thing so I can record till the last minute, but we'll see. Tamatani says, sure, just go back to development. I'm fixing some issues currently. Yeah, great. Yeah, it's fun. Thanks for sharing. Jeez. Where were we? Let's see. Day of keep with it, +1 stress. Revi's like, damn, you're moving again? Yeah. But still in the area. It's just the lease was 1 year, it's ending, and then I'm making some changes. I'll talk to you later about that if you're curious, but yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. So +1 stress on upkeep. Now it's the player's turn, so that's where we want to wait. I think player's turn is where we're waiting. So I think instead of start player turn, I don't know if I need all these states actually. So let's do a node for start player turn. So I say start player turn. And then I gotta put that under game state nodes. And then that's gonna be a copy of this again. Start player turn state. And upon entering, I'm going to have to zero out anything I need to. I don't think there's any upkeep stuff I need to zero out. So here I'm actually just waiting to transition. The next state from the player turn is resolve action, I think. So we're waiting for end turn, I think. Actually, that's not the case. It's actually it's a cycle between player action states. So let's see. Player's turn will start and waiting on players to put some feedback, right? So on player turn, I got to turn on a bunch of stuff here, which I don't know yet. So I'm going to move over to main and see what UI I can create. Kado says, currently putting your stream on in the background while I prep my engine for the game jam I have next week. Oh. It's okay to put me on the background. Thanks for keeping me on. Revi says we can chat about it off stream. Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing serious. It's just life update that is happening, and I just don't feel like talking about it here, unfortunately. Normally it's okay. It's just I got people watching this. Some part of the people. Like mom. Anyways. All right. Can I find member? Wait, player action? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so first thing I think is I want to be able to select these players. Oh, there's two of them. All right. Kado says, hi, Mom. I don't think she's watching right now. Usually when she's watching, the little reaction, the little heart reaction blows up. All right, so we're here, day 1. We're day upkeep. And day upkeep goes to automatically to the next state. We're moving to start player turn. So it moves on to the start player turn. And then once we get to the start player turn, I want to be able to click on these things, right? I think this is just the status. I might have to do it right here. Or actually, should I be able to just click? I mean, I want to be able to click here later. But for now, I'm thinking I'm just going to be able to click here. Because why not? So I'm going to make the panels clickable. Which is GUI input enabled. So I'm going to make it on main. We got the crew info here. I already added it as a panel. Add crew panel. And then I'm going to connect. I suppose I should do to the main and create a new function. I guess this is UI stuff. There's a debug. This is the function. I'll put the UI interaction here. And then I'll put, oops, state interaction. And then this is where UI interactions are. And then I'll put func on crew selected. When the crew is selected, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to create a new action window down here. Container. And there's going to be a list of actions to assign. So I'll say it's going to be a VBox container. And then it's going to be action selection UI. Very, very like methodical, kind of like so far the game's looking like an application. Revi says, just don't want to dox you. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to make any mistake either, saying those things. So I think action selection UI probably should go to the right side, I think. Let's say bottom right. And then let's make it, I don't know, like 100 by 500. Oh, that's long. 250. And I'll have it actually line up on the beginning here. And I think I want to be able to say something like, what is it? Cook or something like that, right? Yeah. So, and then I think it needs to look like a button. So I'm going to do button. There's no radio button. Link buttons. Interesting. I'm going to do a button approach. And then I'm going to make it so that it's toggle mode. So you can press in and up. So for example, it'll be like cook. And I'll say label. And then I'll be like action select. Or let's just call it label. Label. Because that's essentially what that is. Say choose. Or I don't want it to be lengthy, but choose an action. Choose a task for who? I guess I could just do flow label here, flow container. Then I'll make it center. Label goes here. Another label. Crew name. Cook, for example, like this. The cook. And then I'll say probably have a color like this. And then have a font online. I mean, I'm not doing anything complicated here because obviously we got Revi who's going to do all this for us. I'm putting a lot of faith in you, Revi. Don't mind me. I'm going to do as little beautification as I can, just for you. Aren't you glad? I bet you are glad. I'll move it over a little bit. Hey, Nate. Let's do that. All right. There it is. Mikori says, the game is coming along. It's coming along. Despite how it looks, it is coming along. Trust me. I want to be able to add buttons script-wise. And then programmatically add them based on what actions are available. Should I? I think so. I think I'll just add them all. Why not? Button 2. What do we got here? We got the cook action. Cook. We got the... I got to open the Excel sheet, honestly, because I don't remember all of them. Oh, I forgot. I stopped the music, didn't I? Let's open that action item. Idea. I have so many drive folders. Look at me, fancy pants with 2 terabyte usage. That means I'm actually paying for this. Is it worth it, guys? I think it might be, actually, because I upload a lot of videos there. I'm waiting for my sponsors to review my video, by the way, which is a very new experience for me. I'm afraid. I really want to release this video on Thursday. I'm afraid they're going to be like, hey, can you fix this wording? Or like, can you not do that? I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, because you're paying for it. But, you know, it's still not enough. It's like maybe 2 meal. And then I have to still pay tax for it. Life is rough here in a content world. Let's see. So we got cook, monitor radio. Monitor radio. Despite the look, it's gonna be good, okay? All these graphics are so easy to update. Well, I say easy because I'm not drawing them, but once I have the assets, it'll be great. It is monitor radio. Cook button. What else? We want to add navigate. Navigate. And then we have lookout. Button. Lookout. Oh. Patterns. Watch duty, I guess. What else? Medical assistance. Medical bay. Medical bay. And then button for rest. Rest button. Mikuri says, by the way, did we test the emotional aspect when paper playtesting? Nope, we haven't. But I think I have general idea. Like ANSI came up, right? So I think those things will definitely come through. Initially, I think it'll come through. As I'm implementing this, it becomes programmatic. Those emotional aspects will make it easier to... Because the reason I didn't want to do that on paper testing is because once you start to get these like exception rules, and you experience this You experience this in board games where you're like, hey, if you have this status, then whenever you would lose 1 health, you lose 2 instead. Like that kind of rule is really hard to upkeep. That's when the paper testing starts to become a burden, I think. That's why I wanted to keep it as simple as possible with no action points at the beginning. And then now that I have the basic concept proven, I can start to make it and have those psychosis as well. What else? There it is. Okay. I think these are the actions they can do. And then I'll probably have a container which I suppose is just... Maybe it's a V-Box as well. It's going to be action description UI. Or should it be... Yeah, I'm going to say action description UI for now. Label, let's say action name, and then have label that is, oops, action description. And that's going to be aligned to center. Layout should be center this one, or not full rect. Center. And then it's going to be like cook. When cooking, prepare 2 or 3 meals when cooking, or something like that, right? And then I suppose, honestly, this whole thing could be under a panel if I needed to. Let's put a color rect here. Why not? Suppose this could go under color rect. In fact, and make this full rect. And color rect will be, I believe, can be centered. And the minimum size is like 500, like so. Now let's put this like this. Yes, there are better ways to do this. But alas. Is it a full rect? Well, I guess I could have margin instead. Margin container. And let's say this is fill. This one's going to be layout's going to be anchor, full rect with theme override constants, margin everywhere. And let's give like 5. Yeah. And then color rect. Oh. Weird. Margin is not part of it. Weird. Doesn't quite work. Whatever. I'll figure it out later. It's not important. I'll make a different color. How about that? Make it... Maybe it can be like this. Yeah. A blue color. All right. Beautiful. Oh, thanks for being on top of that. I'm guessing you bent some bot. Look at that. Mikorio with the bend hammer. Can I check the message, actually? I'm guessing. Abyss says, sounds stressful, but yay, sponsors. Yeah, indeed. You're going to have to... At the end, I'm like, go to blah blah blah.org/developer Ezra for your 30-day free trial. I don't know if I actually get paid per click though. That was not part of the contract. A lot of the affiliate links do have that deal, but I don't know if this one is that or not. So we'll see. I am so tired though. Actually, of course. Oh my goodness, it's already 11. I might have to look to closing out stream soon, but we'll see. I gotta get a good conclusion here. Okay. So I think when I select... Yeah. So when the crew info comes up... Alright, main thing. So I'm crew selected, right? So... I think I got a sub or something. Whoa, that's a big symbol. Thanks for the sub. Shiloh? Yeah. Thank you. Welcome. It's good to see you here. Let's see. On crew selected. Let's see. So when the crew button is selected, I want to link it first. So when I'm adding a crew panel, I gotta link its GUI input signal. Connect that, I think. I think that's what it's called. Here, let me see the container. On signal, GUI input. Yep. Very GUI input. And connect that to this callable. I think that works. GUI input. Emit it when the node. Yep. I think I can do that. Test. Print. Test. Let's see. Oh. Did it work? It freaked out. Let me see. Oh, it might not work because I didn't make it so that it's clickable. It might ignore here. Mouse, pass. I think I should make it stop. Force pass scroll events. When enable scroll wheel events process by GUI input will be passed to the parent control. Interesting. I think it has GUI input as control signal. But it seems like I can't just connect it. Oh, it's because it doesn't match the parameter probably. I need to be like event and then input event, something like that. And then I have to be like if event is mouse button event, input event, or mouse input event mouse button, then the test. It can't just be pressed. It actually needs to be input event, say, is pressed. Then test, so it only prints once. Expanded Q-Bar says signals are honestly the greatest thing in Godot. Yeah, honestly, I mean, signals are great. I mean, this pattern is not really new either, but I love using signal for everything. Seems like it's working. Okay, so one thing I do need to do, I think, is indicate that it's selected somehow. So on the info panel, I'm going to make it so that It has a highlight and unhighlight. Though I suppose I could have like a hover effect, but you know what? Whatever. When it highlights, I think I'm just going to make the name theme overrides. Well, name. I believe there's a text color theme override. Yeah. Say theme override. Theme font, theme color override. And then I suppose it takes in create a local override for the theme color with a specified name. Font color. Yeah. I'm going to do font color and then give it a color, let's say 100 red, right? And when I unhighlight it, make it 0004 black, I think. Let's see. Wait, is this weird? Are we in a different time zone? I don't know what's going on here. Anyways. Main. I just wanted to show the... Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. The fact that it's colored or not. Let's see. So it's pressed. When it's pressed, I want to highlight it. Let's see. I suppose it can listen to itself too. Funny thing about this is like, I can be like, hey, you know what? This is good. I can do that, actually. I was pausing because I had to think about it. It's the same way I did the... I'm going to do this the same way I did the check buttons, where only 3 can be highlighted, but then I implemented it independently. So crew info panel, I believe, is already in a... Oh, they're not in a group. So I'm going to make a group. Global group called... crew info panel, right? So each one of these are in a group. So anytime a GUI input happens within itself, I can be like, hey, get tree from within the tree. Get the... Or filter group. Something about get group, I think. Get nodes in group, right? And then it gets all the nodes in the group called crew info panel. So it's going to get all the crew panels within the tree. And that is one of these things, right? And I'm going to have a flag. Highlighted is a boolean and is false by default. True. That is false, right? And so it's gonna go through all of them. It's a list, so I can say filter. I have a little lambda. and say return if the panel is highlighted, meaning gather show up only if it is filtered. So it'll be like highlighted count, and it'll be int. And then with the result, I'm gonna say size. Or I could even, instead of doing filter, I can be like count. Does it actually count? Returns the number of times an element. Oh no, that's not it. Okay, good. So I think this might work actually. And if actually, I don't even need to do that. So I got the tree for item in this. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go through all the panels, info panels, and I want to unhighlight them. Unhighlight if panel is not self. And if it's self, don't worry about it, right? So I'm going to say boop. And then I'm going to highlight myself. Like so. On GUI input, right? Self highlight. And I don't need the flag. Well, I'll need a flag to be able to tell, I think. So on click, it's going to be like, hey, get all these group, unhighlight everybody else, and highlight yourself. And that also means I don't need to connect this except to show highlight, but I don't think I even need that actually, honestly. Let's first show that it's unhighlighting and highlighting itself. Hi, Foxy Fry. Welcome, welcome. We're messing with some signals here. Ooh, what just happened? Oh, I did it just on every GUI input. Whoops. If event is mouse button and event is pressed instead of released, then do all these things. It's still going to have an error, but I want to see what the error is. Hello? Interesting. Hold on. Oh, interesting. Is it because everything else is blocking? Maybe it is. Unhighlight in VBox container doesn't exist. Well, it's not a VBox container. It's actually crew info panel. Panel. Unless I spelled it wrong. Oh, I did. Unhighlight. Yeah. All right. So that's going to fix it. Another thing is some of the button clicks are not going through depending on the element. And I think that has to do with the mouse. With the pass. I'm just going to filter by mouse. Ignore. 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 Stops. Okay, progress bar stops it. So I'm going to make it ignore. Ignore. So stop means it's going to like stop the mouse event to go through. And crew info, the overall panel is at the bottom bottom behind all these things. So everything above it has to be like ignore or pass in order for it to be detected. This is something that I picked up as I struggle with event handling in Godot, which has been great. Expended Q bar says, I think you spelled unhighlight wrong. I did. Oh. Wait, does ignore makes it worse? Oh, it is working. It's just not considered to be pressed. Hold on. Let me put it right here. Oh, it is coming through. Panel. Oh, just highlight is just not working, I guess. What does highlight look like, I guess? I mean, I made it so that the name add theme color override font color is 1 here. Is that not how? I thought it's 0 to 1. Color RGB, which is float. Yeah. 100. Shouldn't be red. Name. Theme override color, font color. RGB where I say R is red. Oh. Doesn't seem to be actually overriding the color. Weird. Should I just do self-modify since it's white? Maybe that's what I need to do. Modulate, I mean. Like that? I suppose I'll do modulate. 25500. Let's do that. Name. Modulate. Equals. Color, I guess. 100. Like that. Is that gonna work? And then by default it's 000. Oh, 0 is that's black. This should be 111. Unless we say the names are always black. That could be a thing. Yeah, nice. It's kind of working. I mean, whatever. It's working. It's working in my book. And then, so highlighting is handled by the panel itself. The function of the clicking. So I'm going to make it so that the action UI doesn't show up. And let's see. Action UI doesn't show up. And then yeah, I need to make it so that this shows up when one of the crew is selected. So I think the way I think, did I make the panel stop? I don't think so. Where's the crew option? Not the crew option button. Not the Voyager UI. Looking at crew selection. Crews. Crew panel. Let's see. What did I do on the mouse? It's a stop. I'm going to make it pass. Meaning it'll detect itself. The click will be detected on it. And then we'll pass through. And then underneath will also detect it. double detection. Reason I'm doing that is so that the UI that's holding the crew info can also react to it. And that is because... Oh yeah, no, I want the main to react, right? Wait, why did I want that? Oh my gosh, I'm getting sleepy. I'm losing track of my thought. I'm like, wait, huh? What? Why did I do that? I have no idea. Ooh, I'm getting to that point. I'm definitely getting to that point of delirium. I want to click and have the action selection UI to show up. Ah, that's right. Okay, now. Oh, sure. That's right. I need to be able to tell where the click event's coming from in order to show the right information. Yeah. So I think as part of the click signal handling by the panel, I'm going to create a new signal that's basically requesting the upper level to be like, hey, I've been selected. Crew selected signal, right? And then it's going to give which crew member it is by passing the crew resource. Right? It's going to be like, hey, this is me. I have been selected. And when it's highlighting, it's also going to selected emit crew resource. And so I'm going to have the main, when it's creating these panels, connect those signals on crew selected. It's going to be func on crew selected. It's going to have crew resource. And for now, it's just going to show this visible. But the goal is I want to be able to do it so that, for example, if I have this and I click and it shows up, and I select one of the buttons and it gets pressed, if I change it and come back to it, it still needs to be pressed. So that's the idea here. I thought I made it so that the action selection UI buttons are all toggle mode. But I guess not. I gotta do that. Toggle mode. Toggle. Cool. And then that should look good there. I'm gonna turn this off. So new game, randomize. Cook. Oh, it's toggling in. Look at that. Okay. I gotta make it so that only one can be toggled at a time. I'll say, I suppose. Suppose I should also add little description saying 1 AP. Medical P at rest Use your IP. You can rest for free. All right. And then I gotta change these names on the UI. So right here, or say action selection UI is gonna have its own little script. I kind of want to just directly change it. Like that. So now, I think if I start a new game, come here, select comms operator, navigator, sailor. There you go. Kind of working. Look at that. Okay, cool. Gotta turn off the debug button so I can see. On ready. Start new game. On ready. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, we got action points. Why does it say 0 out of 0 though? Let's see what we got here. Thanks for the sub, Brandon Stone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Just making my game here. You know, it's very well possible. I still haven't figured out if the stream notification for subs on YouTube only considers the subscription from the what do you call, from the stream itself, or if this person was watching the video on my other video and then decided to sub, if it notifies me as well. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's it, because then I feel like I would be getting a lot more notification, so probably not. But I always wondered how they would have implemented that. Okay, so new game has been started. What was weird? There was something that was weird here. 2 actions, 1 action. I promise you there was something where it's like the comms person was like 0 out of 0, which seems wrong. If I do it enough times, is that bug gonna come back? I think it's not. Okay, cool. Got these things. Now I want to be able to select and toggle. Obviously, I'm going to do the same thing where these buttons are in a group, scene group called action select, or task selection. They're gonna be all in this group. That way, when they press onto self, oof, I don't want to make a button for each one of them. The right way to do it is make a branched scene for each one of the buttons. Or not one of the buttons, and then have the name and implementation be generalized. But I have a very little patience right now for that, so I think I'm just going to create a script for each one of them. I know it's not that much. You know what? I can't let myself get into that. Should I? Ugh. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna make this the wrong way. I'm gonna do it the wrong way because I'm very tired. Let's call this game UI, right? It's under game UI. I'm just gonna say cook button. I'm just gonna do this. Don't judge me, please. I'm kind of over it at this point in terms of tonight's session. I gotta go to sleep. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna copy and paste. You're just gonna copy and paste. Simple as that. You know, that's how it goes. At the end of the day, if it works, it works. You know. And maybe I'm adding like 2 megabytes into the disk. Though that is never the issue. The issue is that organizationally, it's actually a terrible way to do this. But, you know, it's okay. We're going to have a real implementation of this anyways, eventually. So cook button is going to have... At least I can copy and paste this on button pressed, which will be event, put event. What I'm trying to do is that handle itself, it's the same thing where I say, hey, look, get tree and get, geez, what's going on here? Unexpected item for class bar. Oh, it's a func. Func on get nodes in group. I'm going to say get the group called task selection. And then basically unflip them. So for button in this, I'm going to say button is pressed, or I forgot what it was called. Is it button press? Yeah. And now instead of button pressed equals false. Flip them all off. And then I'm going to make myself true. That's what that does. I think. And that's going to be for every one of them. And you can see why now I'm like, oh yeah, this is a wrong way. If it wasn't clear now it should be very clear that this is a very bad way to do this. Because I'm repeating. But who's counting? Not me. You shouldn't be either. You should be working on your own stuff, right? Oh, I guess it should have been called on press instead. Ugh, whatever. Oh, interesting. Okay. Fine. So that's what we were about. Unpressed. Cool. And then I'll just connect these. One at a time. Look, performance-wise, we're not adding anything, I think. Only thing is disk space and organizational structure. I keep telling myself this so that I feel better about myself. But this is how it goes sometimes. Okay. Only one selection at a time. It's working. Cool. All right. All right, so I can toggle. Ugh. And I think this is a good place to be. Geez, someone's Jabat. Expanded Q-Bar says the extra couple megabytes of disk space, if that is not really a problem. Yeah. The real problem, as I was saying, that is the organizational structure, the beauty of it all. But see, context is important. Context is that I'm not going to have more than 5 buttons. And if I'm going to add more buttons and I'm less tired, I will make a generalized solution. What's important is that I document. If there's a corporate context, I'll be like, this shouldn't be the way it's done. I documented it. And then I'll be like, future plans, future tasks, make it so that it's generalizable. So we can just add buttons. But that's it. I'm going to say this is the end of the day. You know, it's 11:37 here where I am. And it is actually pretty late for me. I think that's a pretty good progress so far. I got some menus working. I think it's getting very close to actually, unlike, it might not be convincing to you that it is close to playable spot for me. But actually, I think it's very close to playable spot because it's just that, make the actions work, and then I'm going to do some action resolution, and then next day comes around, right? So action resolution, events, event response, and then next day. At least I can play it like a board game at that point. And then what I need to do is the game over and victory condition, right? So I think it's just another day of development and I'll be good for playtesting until some of the arts and music comes around. Thanks for joining this late. It's been cool hanging this late with everyone. Appreciate all the follows and subs. As I said, I am hoping to release a new video on Thursday, actually about GMTK. So if you already watched that streams, you know what's going to happen. But hey, still support me through that. That would be very good. I'm going to go now. Let's see. We do have 13 people, so I might as well rate someone, right? I gotta pay it forward. Good night, Expended Q-Bar. I'm just going to choose some random person here on raid. Going to do, let's see, by tag or category. Hi, bye. Hi, bye. Hi and bye. I'm about to end here. I'm saying bye. I'm rating some people. Oh, Hypnotic. Of course. I should rate it. I can't stay too long. I'm just going to say, hey, I got to go take care of my viewers. And then we're going to go. Hop on the raid, everyone. I know everybody's just kind of vibing and chilling, so I'm going to send you over to Hypnotic. Hypnotic usually takes care of everyone, so here we are. Hello. I'm very sleepy and am ready to go.
Welcome in. Very sleepy. Fair enough. It must be very late for you. Like, go to bed.
Take care of them for me.
Yes. Everyone, follow Ezra. They do some excellent Godot work, especially with their dialogue plugin.
Nice, nice.
Take care.
Giving me a nice plug. All right, I'm going to end the stream.